Chapter 21. "And that was my first time being felt up by the Sasquatch," Dolores said, shivering slightly in her seat. Although her face wasn't one of anger or disgust, she actually smiled a bit at the memory. "His hands were so strong. When he finally found the leftover candy bar in my pocket, he took off into the night, but I wish he would have kept going." My gosh, is this a WA meeting or some kind of R-rated romance narration? The teenager, whose name tag read Sue, said exactly what I was thinking. "Dolores, you need a man." "I do," Dolores agreed without complaint. "I really do. My Grindr app is downloading now. Hopefully I'll find someone online."
"Sue, please," Ryan chided. "This is a safe place for all of us to come and talk about our supernatural experiences."
My eyes were so wide I thought they were going to fall out of my head. Dolores was actually slouching in her seat now, fanning herself. Shannon jabbed me hard in the ribs.
"And why don't we move over to our newest member?"
Ryan waved to me with a meaty hand.
"John, would you like to share?"
Yeah, sure," I said, clearing my throat. "This whole thing is still really new to me. I was introduced to the world of vampirism a few days ago when I found out my best friend was one of them. It's still hard to really wrap my head around. I've been dealing with a lot since then. It's strange, though. It's terrifying and exciting all at once, like the world can still be new and hold secrets. It doesn't seem so boring anymore."
"I know what you mean, if I may intrude."
The older man, who had to be in his early 70s, gave me a hard nod.
"Name's Nate, by the way."
"Go ahead, Nate," I said. I was done anyway. That's pretty much it.
"I've seen and done a lot in my days, from my time in Nam serving our country to my career as a boxer. I thought I had seen it all," Nate said, smacking his lips. "Then up comes my unwanted guest, and all of a sudden, I started back to square one like you said. I have no problem saying it's a bit scary, but more interesting. Like I'm on some kind of journey of discovery."
"Nate has a creature under his house," Shannon added. "He's not exactly sure what it is yet, but he's convinced it's supernatural."
"It hardly makes any sounds under the house, but it smells god-awful," Nate said. "I'd go down there myself, but my back isn't what it used to be. The crawl space is too low for old bones like mine. Plus, I don't necessarily want whatever is down there killed, just moved out."
"What makes you think it's something supernatural and not just some kind of cat or possum?" I asked. "I mean, it could be anything, right?"
"It could be, but it ain't."
Nate whipped out his smartphone like some kind of weapon.
"You see, I installed a camera above the opening of the crawl space so I could see what I was dealing with."
"Not the video again," Sue mumbled.
"You two can show and tell when the meeting's over," Ryan said, keeping us on track. "We're almost done now."
The rest of the stories were fascinating. Sue told about a zombie strain at her school that was spreading faster than a virus on crack. Other stories were of werewolves, fairies, and even a talking gnome. Although Steve, who shared about his encounter with the gnome, smelt like he bathed with marijuana, so I wasn't sure his story was entirely accurate. Neither Shannon or Ryan chose to speak about their experiences. It wasn't that mysterious that Shannon would opt out of speaking about her dead sister. I did, however, find it interesting that Ryan, who led the meetings, decided to pass. After the last member shared, Ryan wrapped us up.
"Well, a big thank you to everyone who came out tonight," Ryan said, standing from his folding chair. "I want you all to know that you are not alone out there. We are here for you, and we believe you."
That seemed to be the cue for everyone to get up and head for one last round of Black Rifle coffee and donuts.
"I'm telling you, man, that little garden gnome was having a conversation with me and everything," Steve said before I rose from my seat. "I mean, he was like professor status and stuff. Talked like Einstein and Neil deGrasse Tyson had some kind of super smart love child raised by Stephen Hawking." "Easy, Steve," Nate said, coming over to Shannon and me. "He believes you. We all do." "Oh, show him the video, man. Show him the video," Steve urged Nate. "Wait until you see this. This is some trippy stuff right here."
Nate moved to stand between me and Shannon, extending his arm as far as he could and squinting at the screen before he hit the play button. The screen transitioned to a nighttime scene. The colors were black and a bright green indicative of some kind of night camera. We were looking down from a vantage point that I guessed was the roof into a side yard. A square opening where the house met the ground couldn't be more than a foot, maybe a foot and a half high. We waited, watching. Something poked out of the crawl space. At first glance, it looked like a big cat, like the head of a small mountain lion. As it moved out further, I could see the body was covered in what looked like feathers, and there were even wings on its back. It moved low to the ground and on all fours. A pair of long tails rounded out the strange creature's appearance. Altogether, I guess it had to be 2 feet tall since it crouched to get out from under the crawl space and weighed around 50 pounds.
See? What do you think of that? Nate asked. Trippy, man. Trippy as heck. Steve bobbed his head in time with his words. You gotta take care of that thing, man. You can't let that thing have babies under your house. Next thing you know, it's ripping through the floorboards trying to make a midnight snack out of you and the missus. Yeah, but who do I call? Nate asked, looking to any of us for answers. It's not like the city is going to believe me. A private pest control company would come out, but they're not equipped to deal with this. I don't want anyone getting hurt.
Shannon could do it, I blurted without thinking. She has experience climbing under houses and getting possums. All eyes swung to me, then to Shannon. That was once a long time ago, Shannon shook her head. I'm not here for that now. But I mean, you have the armor and weapons and everything, I pressed. If you went one-on-one with Evan, you could take this thing out for sure.
And you don't have to kill it, Nate said, jumping on the bandwagon. I just need it out. I could pay you, of course, whatever you want. I just want that stench gone from under my floor, and I can't do it myself. John can help you.
Whoa, let's not get too crazy here, I argued, raising both hands up in a sign of surrender. I don't have the extensive training Shannon does. I'm just a fan.
Monster hunting, so baller, Steve agreed as he walked off to grab some donuts. You could name your price, Nate insisted. I'm retired from the military and the boxing ring, where I've done well for myself.
I thought of all the hours sign twirling and lifter driving. I remembered how hot it could get in that chicken suit. How I always had to convince people I was picking up that my vehicle would make it from point A to point B. We'll do it for $800, I said, pulling the number out of my rear end.
Done,
Nate grinned from ear to ear.
I'm telling you, it'll be easy money. I'd do it myself, but like I said, these old bones won't fit under there.
Sorry, Nate, sorry, Shannon interjected, grabbing me so hard by my arm, I felt like I was being taken by a teacher to the principal's office. I just need a minute with my psychotic friend here.
Take all the time you need,
Nate said with a smile. Shannon walked me back a few steps farther into the machine shop. Her grip was vice-like. Ouch! I bruise easily, I tried joking with her. Shannon wasn't having any of it. What are you doing? She hissed, finally releasing my arm. What do you mean, what am I doing? I asked her. I'm getting us paid. $800. You know how long it would take me to earn money like that sign twirling or driving lifter? We'll split it, $600 for me and $200 for you. Shannon raised her eyebrow and gave me a look that would have made Medusa shudder. Okay, $500 for me and $300 for you. I tried to negotiate. That's tax-free. I mean, I should earn a little bit more since I found the job. Come on. You're telling me you couldn't use the money? I'm sure you do great as a personal trainer, but who couldn't use a few extra dollars? I could tell I was finally getting through to her. The look on her face was going from a hell no to a no way. I saw that as progress. There has to be a new sword or something dangerous used for killing that you've been wanting, I urged. Maybe some new gloves or a punching bag? I do want to up the arsenal, Shannon said to herself. Okay, $400, right down the middle. Would you be willing to take... I cut off the next words I was about to say under the death stare I got from Shannon. $400 for each of us sounds great, partner. I extended my hand. Shannon took it and pumped it firmly. We turned to rejoin Nate, who waited to hear what we decided with eager anticipation. My associate and I began, motioning to Shannon, agree to take the job.
Oh, this is wonderful news, Nate slapped me on the shoulder. You've made an old man's day. I can't tell you how tough it is to be sitting in the old lazy boy watching MASH, and an odor comes through the floor like someone mixed vomit with rotten eggs. When can you start? I had to swallow the bile that came to my mouth at the mere mention of the disgusting combination.
Give us tomorrow morning to get things together, and then we'll come take care of your problem in the afternoon, Shannon told him. We should do it while it's still light out and most people are at work. Let's say 2 o'clock.
2 it is. You got it, Nate said with another side grin. See you tomorrow for a little adventure.